So Haggai,
Yes, Moses.
how long do you wait for these people?
We start at exactly 11:10.
11:10, eh?
Yes.
That's okay.
Hi, Moses, and hi.
Hi, William.
That should be William joined us.
Yes, I've joined you.
Karibu.
I want to experience.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, William.
Hi, everyone.
This is Haggai.
Karibu sana, Haggai. Thank you.
William, this is Fatma. Karibu.
Hi, Fatma.
Hi. Long time.
Asante sana.
Asante.
Hello, this is video operations team. Just a test call for recording. Can you able to hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is just a test call. Please make sure the mics are unmuted once the meeting gets started. The meeting is getting recorded. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess we can start now.
Sure, sir. Sure, Fatma. Please go.
Okay. Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us online at this very, very busy and nerve-wracking time. As we were waiting for our colleagues to come in, and I have seen my colleague Sarah has also written in the chat box, please do put in your expectations. What is the one thing that you would like to get out of this webinar? As I also wanted to advise that this is being recorded, and when you need to talk about something, when you need to say something, please do use the chat box. Now, without much further ado, I'd like to call upon Mr. Moses Gitau, who is Head of Business Banking, to kick us off with our webinar this morning before we proceed. Bwana Moses, tafadhali.
Thank you, Fatma. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you, Fatma, for starting us off. God is good.
Okay.
We did thank him for, as Cooperative Bank and in partnership with our partner IFC, we've come together to just pass some information through this web. And I know we ran a session last time that was surviving today to thrive tomorrow. We have an exciting session ahead of us today that is covering, we'll be discussing about adjusting your business plan during the crisis, during such a crisis, basically. So last time we discussed the issues of how to thrive during crisis, but today you are saying, how then do you adjust your business plan during such a crisis? Fatma and team will be taking us through the discussion, but just to recognize that we have customers from all over the country joining us. Thank you, customers, for joining us. We have from IFC. Thank you, the IFC team, for joining us. And we have a team from Cooperative Bank, a number of our branch managers, a number of our relationship managers, and we are also joined by our Director, Retail and Business Banking, Mr. Dumia, who will also be giving a chance to talk to us briefly in the course of the presentation. So for me, it's just to welcome us to listen to the training. At the end of, after Fatma, I'll also be talking about how we are supporting the MSMEs during this time. And I think I'll take a few minutes after Fatma goes through the training to understand how, as a bank, we are supporting. Lastly is to say for our customers, we continue praying for you in terms of the environment you are facing as a bank. We continue praying for your well-being, and we also continue. We also request that you also continue praying for the country and for the world as you face this crisis. And perhaps I will want to go straight to the agenda for today. Fatma, over to you.
Okay. Asante sana, and I can see some more people have joined us. So karibuni sana. We are offering this webinar that is IFC and Cooperative Bank because we know you are concerned about how to keep your business running during these difficult times. None of us expected COVID. COVID came to us, and like you, we want to make sure that your business stays profitable. You not only thrive, you not only survive, but you're able to thrive after COVID. So let's work together to get through this crisis. This webinar is part of a series that we are offering, that is Cooperative Bank and IFC, to help your business to grow. The webinar will give us tips to help you plan for surviving the pandemic as a business, and also not just to survive, but we also want you to come out of this to become stronger. Allow me to introduce myself first, and I'll introduce my colleagues who are here with me. Bwana Moses, Ameshaji introduced, he is from Cooperative Bank. My name is Fatma Elmawi. I am a master trainer with IFC. I'm happy to be back at Cooperative Bank because we work with Cooperative Bank, and I'm also a business person. So I'm an SME, just like you. My business is to help SMEs to grow their businesses. I have been in this space since 2010, which is about 10 years now, and it has been a good journey, and I'd like us to learn from each other what we can do together so that we are able to grow at the end of this COVID. I also like to introduce my colleague. She's called Sarah Mbinji. Sarah Mbinji is a trainer with the IFC. She has also worked with Cooperative Bank before, and Sarah is a certified instructional designer. In fact, the material that I'm using now is also part of the work that Sarah has worked. Sarah is also going to help me to take care of the questions, take care of the chat box. So we encourage you again, kindly put your comments, put your questions, put your thoughts in the chat box, and we will take them along as we go. My co-producer is called Haggai. Haggai is from IFC, and Haggai is going to assist us to take care of the system during the webinar. This webinar is 1 hour, 30 minutes. The session for me to train is 1 hour, and then thereafter we will call upon Cooperative Bank once again, as well as invite the questions. So now allow me to call upon Haggai to take us through the system once again. Haggai, over to you.
Thanks, Fatma, and to you all. So I can see a few of us are joined, but they're not able to hear us. And I hope we can all see this Fatma screen. So if you're not able to hear, just go to audio. At the far left, highlighted connect to webinar audio, and check call using my computer. That would enable you to hear and participate in this webinar. To ensure that all of us benefit from this webinar training, kindly make sure that your mic is switched off. At the far left, you can't see your mic. Please mute your mic, and I'll also request that all of us to mute the camera. We joining the WebEx from all over the country. Some areas maybe not have stable internet connectivity. So to ensure that we all benefit, please make sure that your camera is turned off at all time. We only have the trainer's camera on. Lastly, please let's try and use the chat box as much as possible for interactions. At the far left, at the far right, you can see open the chat prompt. Please, if you have any question, you have any feedback, you have any contribution, make use of the chat box as much as possible, and Sarah will keep track of that. Thank you, Fatma. Over to you.
Asante. Thank you, Haggai. Now, I'd like to start this session with a quotation. You know, they say that the only constant is life, change. Bruce Lee once said that the steepest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or the willow survives by bending the wind. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the bamboo is a strong tree, and yet when the wind blows and the wind is strong, what does it do? It does not stand. It actually bends for the wind to pass. Now, what do you think Bruce Lee meant by saying the stiffest tree is most easily cracked, while the bamboo or the willow survives by bending with the wind? Kindly put your thoughts in the chat box.
If it is in common sense, when you are dealing with it, you don't expect it to change. Umetumia dawa kama ni malaria.
Kindly put that in the chat box. Haggai, there seems to be a background noise somewhere.
Yes, I'm also wondering where it's coming from, so I'll mute.
So you
Unfortunately, someone maybe.
Kuendelea na severity, intensity to be.
You can unmute yourself. I muted everybody and proceed.
Okay. Can you can hear me now? Now, what are we getting in the chat box, Sarah?
Thank you, Fatma. We have Caroline, and Caroline says that what she gets is that insights from fellow business people's experiences and learning something new to apply in my business. I think Carol is talking about an expectation. We had earlier asked that participants should go to the chat box and write down their expectation. So Carol is saying that she expects insights from fellow business people's experiences and to learn something new that she can apply to her business. So far, I'm not seeing any other feedback as far as changing times is concerned. Over to you,
Great.
Fatma.
Let's move on. Bruce Lee was a famous martial arts actor a couple of decades ago. Basically, what he means is that we need to be flexible. Today's world is not the same as yesterday's world. And our survival as business people depends on recognizing that the fact that things out there have changed. The market out there has changed. Now, the businesses that will more easily go through this change are the businesses that you maintain your core competency, but you are able to be flexible, you are able to adapt to the situation that is out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are going to discuss today. How do you adapt your business model for this new time that we find ourselves in? So this webinar, we want to look at how do you shift your perspective, how do you adjust your business plan, and then once you have adjusted your business plan, how do you explain this new business plan to your lenders? At the end of the session, you'll be able to identify your business's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the current marketplace. Remember, we are now talking about what is now, what is here with us, not what was there before. It is also about adjusting your business plans for the new circumstances. And once you have done all that, how do you explain this adjusted business plan to your stakeholders, to your lenders? And in fact, there's also a module on how you would be able to communicate this new business plan to all your stakeholders. So the course helps you to determine a path for surviving the current global health crisis. And then there is always a silver lining. And this is what we want to do. How do we see that silver lining? So this course will help you to identify the new opportunities in order to grow your business, secure intermediate funding to sustain your business during emergencies, and then, of course, explain your new business plan to your lenders as well as other interested stakeholders that are also interested in your business. So let's look at the ground norms. I don't like to call them rules. Basically, let's participate. Let's write in the chat box, because that is how we will communicate. Let's respect each other. You may not agree what I am saying or what somebody else comments, but that is their opinion. And of course, I cannot repeat enough. Let us mute our microphones so that we can have better clarity. Let's learn about each other. I introduced myself and my colleagues, that is Sarah and Haggai. If you could kindly introduce yourself in the chat box. So which industry are you from? And then, of course, what would be your expectation if you had not written it? And which part of Kenya are you coming from? Okay, I can see some of us are saying they'd like us to record. It is being recorded, yes. And it will be shared, yes. Once the webinar is over, it will be shared, and then of course, Co-op Bank will be able to give it to you. What we are looking at today is basically at a minimum, how do we make sure there is still inflows into our business? So Sarah, what are we getting? Had already shared Caroline Consulting, great. Sarah, are we getting anything from the chat box?
Not really, but we can see that that there's a diversity of participants, a team that is joining us this morning on the webinar. We can see Carol from Nairobi, South Sea. You can see Marilyn from Nairobi, David, Mombasa, Thumbi, Karibu from Buruburu. We can see somebody from Karen General, basically they're telling us where they're coming from. In terms of their fields, it's I think the feedback is still streaming in. I can see Evelyn Okech. She's saying she's in the health industry in Nakuru. Carol said she's in consulting. David says he's from Mombasa. He would like to know how I can come out strong after COVID-19. Keep those contributions coming in. We are capturing them. Back to you, Fatma.
Great. And this is why we are all here today, to make sure that you actually come out.
Hi, Fatma.
Yes, Haggai.
Yes, for the clients joining through YouTube, read out their charts. I see some are joining from Mombasa, Gitamu from Ivory Water Technology, Maguga General. A couple of these clients are joining from Nairobi. Leah, Matrin from Nairobi, Teddy from Nairobi. I see there's a question here, or rather an expectation from Maguga, which I will park for Moses at the tail end. Over to you, Fatma.
Sawa, asante. I can see Evelyn Koech and Peter Kitivi, Karibuni. So this webinar actually is not meant just to convey information to you. This webinar is meant to be an opportunity to share ideas, observations, as well as best practices. What you find somebody else is actually doing, and if you can pick that, why not? So allow me to first look at what do we mean by shifting our perspective. What is a perspective? Perspective is the way you see things, it's the way you look at things. Perspective is actually influenced by a number of things. It's influenced by your experience, it's influenced by your attitude, by your personality, and each one of us has a different perspective in life. Each one of us, we could be looking at the same thing. Tunaangalia pamoja, but each one of us picks something different from what we are seeing. And in fact, allow me to ask,
Nancy,
what do you see?
Kaduma is on the call.
What do you see? Kindly put that in the chat box. Whatever it is that you see, there's a glass, there's a liquid. What is it that you see? Okay, you see a glass, great. Liquid, thank you. Half full, thank you. That is true. So some people would see a half-filled glass, some people would see some liquid, and some people would see a half-empty glass. Now, each one of us will see something different, and that is what we are calling your perspective. Now, the people who would probably say, the people who would say that I am not seeing, for me, this is a half-empty glass. Well, yeah, there's half water. They probably look at what we are calling the half-empty view. Maybe you might be worried. Business has been slow. Business is coming to an end. I've had to cancel. Customers are not interested in my offering anymore. These are the questions that you have, and these questions are valid. On the other hand, the people that have written, we are seeing a half full glass, it basically means that, okay, it's half full. That means it's not totally full. Now, this gives me time to plan, okay? It gives me time to reflect. It gives me time, an opportunity maybe to renegotiate some deals, okay? So it is not, the glass is not as full as I would have wanted it to be, but there is water in there. So what do? I need to pivot my business in order to meet new interest. And pivot, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd allow me, niende kwa Kiswahili tena, pivot ni egemeo. You know, for example, when you have a table in your house and then that table starts shaking a little bit, what do? We take a piece of wood, tunawekelea hapo kwenye hiyo meza in order to stabilize that table. What we want to do is we want to stabilize our businesses. We want to survive. This is what Sarah took us through. But not just survive, we want to thrive at the end of the day. So what is that pivot? Hilo egemeo tunasema ni egemeo gani? For example, we have seen people changing and saying, okay, maybe I may not be selling as much, but now I can sell something else. Can you imagine an organization like breweries? They joined with Hako Industries, and what did they do? Breweries went and they started making sanitizer. And they used their core competency, which we are going to look at, and they said, instead of sitting back and saying, I'm not selling enough because hotels and pubs are closed, they said, no, we can use what we have. We can pivot, and we can do something with what we have. And this is because what brought you here, yesterday's facts are not tomorrow's reality. What got you here will not take you there. As you can see, the third one is empty, and that is what we want to fill in there. How do we move from where we are to where we want to go? So for us to be able to go where we want to go, we need to relook our business plan. We need to relook the things that we need. We need to have a mind shift. We need to see things differently. We need to look at things differently. Let us not get stuck where we are. Why? Kwa sababu the market out there, the environment out there has changed. We have to be aware of that. Vitu zimebadilika. Vitu kwa ground ziko different. So what do we do now that things are different? Previously, for example, when you started, let's go back down memory lane. When you started your business, you asked yourself questions like, what am I going to sell? Where will I sell it? Who will I sell it to? How much will I charge? What will I do? Where will I sell from? And basically, when you put all this information together, you had your basic business. Okay? These are the questions that you asked yourself. These are the questions that you responded to. And these are the questions that made you move from where you were to where you want to go. Some of you may be looking at, maybe I need to get some money to ease me through this period. Maybe I need to reduce the things that I am doing. So let me ask, and kindly let's go to the chat box. How many of you feel that you will need financing to take you through? Please put this in the chat box. How many of you will need financing to take you through this period where there is diminished business? Give me a yes and give or a no. Okay, am I getting anything from the YouTube?
Not yet.
Okay, I can see Naomi says yes. People are saying yes. David, Asanteni, yes, we will need refinancing in order to take us through. So let me ask you, taking a loan can be scary, and taking a loan at this point in time is even scarier. But imagine your child, son, daughter, and if you don't have a child, maybe a sibling comes to you and says, auntie or sister or dad or mom, I need, let's say, 20,000 shillings. What are the questions that will come to your mind? You want to ask. Somebody's coming to you, they want 20,000 shillings. What questions will you have for this person that is coming to you? Kindly put those questions in the chat box. Thank you, Carol. Okay. Okay, thank you. Some of us are saying you will ask, why do you want money? Some of us are saying you will ask, what are you going to do with the money? What is your plan with the money? Thank you. How much do you need? What did you do with the money that I gave you last time? In essence, these are the same type of questions that a bank will ask you. Why? Because like you, the bank is interested to know that this money is going to be put into good use. So one of the things that the bank will want to know is how. What are you going to do? What will, how are you going to make, how are you going to use this money for the refinancing that you are talking about? And having said that, let's look at how do we now adjust our business plan. And before we do that, I'd like to take you around a little bit on the essence of a business plan. For example, when you started, you wanted to know what your business will do, what your business will achieve, and then how do you operate? That is, you developed a very simple one, or maybe a little bit more complicated one, your operations. How will you make your service? How do you make your products? And then you went into your marketing plan. And what is your marketing plan? What is your product? What is your service? How are you going to promote it? How are you going to make sure that your products are seen by your clients? And to be able to be seen, some of us looked at how will you communicate with your people? Is it a word of mouth? Is it online? How will you tell them? And then, of course, you started on your own. Lakini as you grew, more people joined you. So how will you staff your business? What sort of people are you going to put in your business? Because remember, for example, now some of us have employed some interns, some of us have employed people to look at our social media, to look at our online business, which we are going to talk about. Then again, is your HR, is your staff aware? Do they know about your product? Can they stand in and talk about your product the way you would? So these are the things that you need to put in place you need to write as part of your plan. Then, of course, it's about your financial plan. How will money flow in and out? At the moment, money keeps on flowing out. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that money flows into your business. Hata kama ni kidogo, but there has to be an inflow. And then, of course, the last one is about continuity of business operations. And this is what we are talking about. How do you make sure that the business continues even during this pandemic? And if you're going to close or if you're going to reduce, what else do you want to do? So as you can see, this is circular because it does not have a beginning and an end. As we go along, we actually adjust. Why? Because the environment is also different. We want to focus on your marketing plan. And the reason why we focus on your marketing plan is because this is the engine. This is the driver of your business. We have seen other people doing other things at this time simply because you do not want your business to stagnate. You do not want your business to stop. So the tool we are going to look at is called a SWOT analysis. A SWOT analysis is actually, this is an evaluation tool. Okay, now businesses are not the same. So each one of us will have different strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and strengths and threats. Now, strengths and weaknesses, these are internal. This is what you have right now. Okay? Opportunities, this silver lining and the threat, this is what is out there in the market. Using a SWOT analysis basically assists us. Okay? It assists us to assess what is our
Press
competitive advantage.
1 to save.
So, yes,
Press
Hagar?
2 to listen.
Yeah. What is
Press
our competitive advantage?
3
So this is what we want to do.
to
We want to
re-record.
conduct
Press
a SWOT analysis
4
for your
to
marketing
set
plan.
priority. Press
Example,
5
what do you think
to
is
set
a strength? Just give
privacy.
me a strength, any
Press
strength that you have.
7 to
An
exit
example
without
of a
saving.
strength, an example of a strength could be knowledge.
Choose a valid
Example of a
option.
strength
Press
could be
1
equipment. That is a
to
strength.
save.
For example,
Press
I spoke about breweries. Breweries, the strength, they had the necessary equipment, they had the competence, they had the skill, and they were able to move from
Set
making beer
priority. Press
sanitizers. Okay, that
5
is a strength. A strength could also be maybe you own the premises where you are. Okay, that is a strength. And what we're going to do is we'll do a SWOT analysis for your marketing plan, because your marketing plan, that is the engine, that is the driver of your business, and the SWOT will simply
2
gauge
to listen.
competitive advantage.
Press
Are we strong in this respect or not?
press
Marketing has 6
4
pillars,
to
okay?
set
We call them 6 P's
priority.
of marketing. We call them pillars. Si munajua pillars ya nyumba. This is what holds a house, okay?
Press
This is the product, the place, the price, promotion, packaging, and the people that you have. So what we want to do is the 6 P's.
Thanks for using
That
voicemail
strength gives your
service.
business that competitive advantage. Their strength offers your business your value proposition. What is it? Why should somebody come to you instead of going to somebody else? And this is what we want to assess to be sure that advantage that you have can either be made stronger, and if you are not very strong in that particular area, Sivibaya, it simply means you need to relook at it so that if there is a weakness in each one of these 6 pillars, you are able to look into it and you are able to change it. So this is what we want to do. So the questions that you may want to ask yourself, for example, in terms of the first pillar, which is your product, how can you make your offering more relevant in this crisis? Okay? For example, maybe you're not able to get your raw materials. Can you find an alternative? What else can you do? How can you capitalize on any component? And allow me here to talk about an organization called Bedi Industries. And what Bedi does, Bedi is in Nakuru. They were in the textile, in the apparel business. So what did they do during COVID? They simply switched because they had the machines, they had the people. Now, instead of making textiles, they switched and now they are making masks. If you recall, when COVID started, sanitizers shot up from 100 shillings to 5,000 shillings at the beginning. Na mnakumbuka mashelves zote zilikuwa zimeisha, kulikuwa hakuna. On the other hand, face masks had gone to about 500. But now the face masks are 50 shillings. Why? Because people were able to switch immediately. In fact, Bedi Industries did that, and there's another organization called Trendy Links. They were able to do that. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak now, Kenya stands to be an exporter of masks and other health consumables within the region, within the Great Lakes region. You may also want to ask yourself, within the products that I have, is there anything that I want to eliminate which is not doing well? It's okay. This is the time for us to adjust. This is the time for us to relook what we are putting out there in the market. If you are doing a perfumed soap, maybe people are not interested in perfume now. You may want to still do soaps, but instead of perfume, it can be sanitizing. The second pillar is your place. With this restricted movement, maybe customers cannot come to your business. So what do? Can you take your business to the customers? For example, you can create an online presence. We have seen organizations like Carrefour, we have seen organizations like Naivas and Tuskys. What have they done? They have partnered with people like Glovo, with people like Uber Eats, with people like Boda Bodas. In counties, a simple Boda Boda goes to the market, buys the stuff and delivers. I can buy from Naivas today and I don't have to go. They will deliver to me. So what have they done? They have taken the business to their customers. Basically, how can you make it easy for customers to deal with you? They cannot go out, so you can go to them. It means you can also look at online business. Now, what do you need to do in order to protect your customers, your business, as well as your employees? If I take my table again, it is about they cannot come and buy furniture from me. Can I have an online presence so that they can look, see what they want, and then I am able to deliver to them? Having said that, the sanitizer issue and the face masks, people increased their prices by over, can I say 1,000%? Okay. Now, what you want to do is, it's up to you really. Do you want to charge because there's increased demand, or do you want to remain at the same price? Because if you charge, if you go high, unnecessarily high, it basically means you are gouging. Okay, you may make the money right now, but remember, what will remain in the eyes of your clients? They will feel that you actually took advantage of them. On the other hand, how do you want to either maybe lower your prices since the demand may not be so much? Because remember, if I want to make 1,000 shillings, I can make it from 10 people. I can make it from 100 people. I can make it from 2 people by charging 500. I can also make it from 1 person by charging 1,000. Whether you go high or you go low, it actually depends on the clients that you have. It also depends on the type of business that you are operating. Now, for those who attended the Surviving and Thriving, Sarah had given us the diamond. Before you decide which way to go, you want to look at your clients, You want to look at your product features. What about the competition? The people who shot up the price immediately. What happened? Competitors came in and the price came down. We are now able to buy a face mask for actually just 50 shillings. And then your brand, your product, what relationship have you been having with your clients? Are clients would client remember your brand Vizuri, or would client remember, this person used to take advantage of us? And of course, whether you go up or you go down, again, depends on the costings that you have. Some organizations are actually given some items for free. If you go to Carrefour, they will give you gloves for free, okay? Because they want to show the client that we are really concerned about our clients, and they are thinking not just for now, they are also thinking about the future of their products and the future of the clients, and what will the clients, how do they deal with the clients going forward. Now, having said that, let's now look at let's look at the promotion. Okay, how do you promote your business? Now, how would your clients know about your business? Maybe you used to promote using word of mouth. Maybe you used to promote getting referrals. That can still happen. Okay, but you may also want to shift. Remember, we are adjusting our thinking here. We are adjusting our business plan. Maybe it's time for us to shift to digital marketing. Okay, I mean, honestly, for some of us who have been training, we always used to do on-site. People need to come to the class, and then we are there. And now things are different. We are actually training online. We have embraced digital virtual training, a different way of doing things. Will my customers see my advertisements? Do I need to give away, or can I combine my my offering with somebody else? So promotion is, it could be you promoting online using online tools, and we're going to look at the online tools in a minute. It is also about, you can also co-market. I remember a colleague of mine, in fact, Sarah, advising us that there are a group of ladies, some of them are lawyers and some of them are professionals, and there's not much work at this moment, but they had side hustles. So what did they do? They got together, they have one platform, and then you are able to order, because if you order, you will not go to a place just to buy one item. They got together and you're able to take tomatoes, you're able to take onions, you're able to take binda, a number of things, and then they deliver to you. So this is about co-marketing. This is about changing. Eateries have also changed because you can now buy food, and then the food is actually able to be delivered to you. In terms of giveaway, there is a coffee shop that also gives away sanitizers. Now let's look at who are the active users in these social platforms. Don't just use, for example, WhatsApp for stories. Use things like Facebook, use things like YouTube, because in Kenya, we are more into Facebook and to WhatsApp. Use WhatsApp to be your selling app, not just about, you know, how we forward messages and stuff like that. Again, a group of ladies in Mombasa have gotten together, they've created a platform, they put all their stuff that they are selling, and then each one of them uses their contacts to sell. So I not only sell myself, but I sell you as well, and vice versa. You sell yourself, you sell me. By doing that, what have we done? We have increased the size of the marketplace. Because when you get together, the marketplace becomes bigger. And now we have taken the shop to our clients. One thing about online marketing, it's about how do you look at your packaging? Because your packaging needs to be different. Previously, before COVID, people came to your shop, uliwafungia, and they went. How it was packaged, how it reached the house was not your business. But now it is about, it needs to be safe for your clients. So you need to change your packaging in order to comply with the new requirements. Nobody wants to receive milk that is half finished. So you need to change in order that it has to be received by your client kama yeye angekuwa amejibebea mwenyewe. Now, if you're talking about Glovo, you're talking about Uber, you're talking about Boda Boda, it is about you making sure that you look at how these things are being ferried, how they are being packaged, so that they can reach in a good condition. We cannot be everywhere, so we need to look at the people that are doing business with us, and these are our staff, okay? What do you want your clients to perceive you, your business, and your staff? Are your staff talking to your clients the way you would? Would they look, are they concerned about the client? I know for sure right now clients are, they have reduced their buying. They only buy the necessities, meaning that when they do that, your staff need to be empathetic. They need to understand, and they need to show concern and also help your customers. Now, for us going through this SWOT analysis, we want you to look at everything. You analyze everything, and then usijidanganye, you actually need to say, this is where I may have an issue, and you work on it. For example, let me give you an example of a strength and a weakness. We are talking about somebody who is in the consulting and training industry. Could be me, could be Sarah, it could be, yes. So yesterday, I was a certified trainer by World Bank, okay? I had 25 years professional experience. And then I'm also a certified instructional designer since 2015. Okay? When I say yesterday, what I mean before COVID, okay? Now, I'm still certified. I am still a trainer. That does not change, okay? What will change is that maybe there may not be demand for online for on-site. Ile ya darasa, you know, you sit in the class and you train. There may not be demand, okay? What will happen is that there will still be demand for training, but a different type of demand. If you look at the weakness that I had before, maybe I was not available for engagement. I was busy, okay? Now, sometimes as trainers and consultants, we work with colleagues. And the weakness that I had then, I could not always guarantee the quality of inputs in case I needed to take a co-trainer. Post-COVID, I may not always guarantee the quality, but you see the advantage, the silver lining that I have is now I can go beyond borders. Nilisema before, I could only train, I had to travel if I had to go elsewhere, if I had to go to Bungoma, Kisumu, Mombasa, I had to fly. But now I can see from the chat box here, I have people from Mombasa, I have people from Kisumu, I have people from Bungoma. I have not traveled. I'm still in Nairobi. So this has created opportunities for me, extra for me. It has expanded my partnerships. It has given me clients internationally because we are also training internationally, and I'm still in Nairobi. I used to coach face-to-face, tunakaa pamoja, but now I'm still able to coach. That's an opportunity. How do I coach? I coach online. I mentor online. Okay, so this is the opportunity I have. Nothing has changed there. Now, what are the threats? I cannot travel. Okay, the one threat that I have, and I needed to look at it in order for me to grow, is I have to be techno-savvy. I wasn't. I adjusted, I learned, and I'm able to be here today. So it may not be as much, but inflows are coming in. And this is what we want to look at. This is what we are asking you to look at. What is it that you can do now? what kind of changes can you make now so that you are still able to work? This is a different kind of working. Now, you need to narrow your options. Look at all the strengths. Take each pillar one by one, and then work with each pillar and say, this is the strength I have, and because I have this strength, I can take advantage of this opportunity. One by one, and then narrow your options. If you've got 5, good for you. And then you say, out of the 5, I can work with 2, I can work with 3, or I can even work with 1. Having done that, you go back now to your plan. If you recall our business plan, you go through everything again. The operations, the financing, the HR, the financial plan. You redo your plan once again. Lakini unaifanya, now it is adjusted to the market environment that is out there. Once you've written it down, the next task, how do you explain this to your lenders? Because remember, we are all concerned. Cooperative bank is concerned, IFC is concerned, all your stakeholders are concerned because they want you to succeed. When you go to the bank, remember the questions we were going to ask our siblings and our children? Now you need to put this new plan in writing. It has to be done on paper. You also need to know your ask. What is it that you want to ask for? You cannot, you see, when you tell somebody, I need 50,000, it doesn't sound the same as telling somebody, I need 50,000 in order to buy this. Or I need 50,000 in order, I have a colleague who does cashew nuts, and she went and she said, I need 50,000 because I need to take care of my logistics. So the transportation of bringing the raw materials, because now pale nilikuwa napata hakuna tena, I need to go further out. So you need to be clear in your rationale, and then we need to offer proof of the 5 C's. What do I mean by the 5 C's? This is number 1, it's your character, the type of person that you are. Wewe ni mtu wa kulipa madeni ama ulikuwa ni mtu wa kukimbia kimbia? Do you go back on time? Do you even communicate that when you have issues? And then what is the collateral? And Moses Bonagita will speak to it later, because I know a lot of banks, they have adjusted their collateral requirements. He will talk to us. Then do you have the capacity to pay? Because remember, everybody is in business here. We know there are challenges now. What next? What later? What is it that you feel the bank will also consider? How much debt for some of us who already have, and then we'll compare with the expected income. They basically want to make sure that you will be able to survive. Because remember, the idea is for you not just to survive, but also to grow. How much capital, how much have you put in yourself? If you're asking for 2 million, have you put anything in it? Ama yote ni ile unataka. So these are the things that are going to look at. In terms of conditions, again, the bank will look into this. I know some banks have adjusted, some banks have given moratorium. So each bank has their own that they have done. And this is what the banks, they will talk to you. What the banks want, they want you to talk to them. Usikimya, okay? Talk to your relationship manager. Tell them, this is what I used to do. This is what I am doing now. This is how I have adjusted. This is what I think there is an opportunity here that I will be able to work with. So whatever it is that you're talking about, go talk to them. Remember, they are an important stakeholder, and they also want to succeed. They don't, one thing I can tell you, banks don't like surprises. So you need to talk to them. In conclusion, let's see what is it that we said we were going to do. We said, let's shift our perspective, okay? And this is where we looked at the glass, whether it's half empty, half full. It could have liquid, but how do I add more liquid into it? And then how do you adjust your business plan? You're adjusting your business plan because the market has changed. Okay? And we want to take cognizance of this change in the market for us to act accordingly. Then you need to explain this to your lenders. You need to tell them, this is where I'm coming from, this is where I want to go, and this is what I want to do. They may also have interesting thoughts or ideas to add onto the plan that you take. Having gone through this, this is home play because you may not have been able to do everything now. Okay, we requested that you put down on your notebook, go back, identify what are your strengths. Now you should be able to identify your strengths, the business strength, the weaknesses, opportunities, as well as the threats, because the market externally, it gives us opportunities, but it also gives us threats. This is out there. When you have taken cognizance of that, you have analyzed them, adjust your business plan, and then explain this adjusted business plan to your lenders as well as the other stakeholders. What are the next steps? We said we will give you the materials, so kindly complete your SWOT analysis. This is where you want to be honest, because it's you. Be honest with yourself, put everything in writing, modify your plan, and then talk to your lenders. Okay? You also want to inform your stakeholders. It's good, you may have to work with your staff, because remember, maybe some of your staff are frontline there. They know exactly what clients want, what are the issues the clients have. So involve them as well. They will give you ideas. And then, of course, once that is done, you want to execute against the new plan. Now, we had said that we have additional webinars to help you through the crisis. I know you did Surviving Today to Thrive Tomorrow. Now we are doing Adjusting Your Business Plan During Crisis. Then we also have, once you've done that, how do you communicate with all your stakeholders during this crisis? And then, of course, the last one is about how do you manage your finances during the crisis. Cooperative Bank will advise when all these, because these extra 2 modules will come along, and then they will communicate for us to have another webinar in that respect. What we've also done is we've collected some resources for you to read and for you to learn more. For example, we have the Barbara Corcoran. Barbara Corcoran is one of, if you were watching the Shark Tank, Barbara Corcoran is one of the ladies that is part of the judges within the Shark Tank. And actually, she said that use this time to reflect, use this time to plan. Maybe when there was no COVID, we were too busy doing things. Now it's time for us to plan. You may also want to look at businesses that will give you more ideas on what you need. I like Canva. For some of us, for some of you, you print flyers. You may want to look at how about doing online flyers. It's cheaper, okay? You can do it in Canva, and you are able to distribute that online to a lot more people. So you want to do that. Coursera is where you need to go and you learn more ideas, because I can see people are saying they want to have ideas into that. This is what we have done. I'd now like to call Moses to take us through what the bank, that is what Cooperative Bank is doing, what Cooperative Bank has for you in order to make sure that you are able to grow during this time of pandemic. Moses, I hand over to you.
Thank you, Fatma. People clapping for that wonderful presentation. Thank you for that presentation. I can see people clapping for it. It was quite good in the message passed on. And to our customers, we continue supporting you as a bank. And I would just want to take a few minutes again to say the support that we'll be offering to our customers, and that our thought as a bank in terms of how then do we move forward as as partners. I think key to say is that as a bank, we are committed to support you to be able to survive and navigate through this pandemic. Ways that we are supporting, just to highlight a few, is that we can offer additional funding, those needs in terms of additional funding. As a bank, we are willing to restructure your existing facilities and even give repayment holiday for those who will be willing to have that holiday. And I think we'll be discussing that briefly in short. Then in terms of the other thing that is very key for us is relationship management. And I think as Fatima presented, I heard her mention about relationship management. How do you engage with the relationship manager? As a bank, we are key in terms of offering relationship management. And for our customers, all your relationship managers will be glad to receive you, to also discuss with you the way forward in terms of your business, the business during this period. Also, the business. I think the other key thing is information. As a bank, we are saying committed to providing information through the MSME online portal and the core bank website. We have a lot of information there about the restructures, about this training, a lot of information there. Application forms are there. In case you don't need to, you don't have to physically visit the bank, you can download and print your application and even send it online to your relationship manager. So that has a lot of information in terms of how then you manage your business as a business person. I think what you are doing now, the webinars, and Fatima has rightfully put it that a number of exciting sessions lined up. So far, this is the second one. I think we did the one of thriving through crisis, and now we are talking about business planning. I think we've a number of those sessions that are lined up. So we just welcome you to join. We'll be sharing details through your branches, your relationship manager, your branch managers. That's
Hello, Peter. I think I'm lost you.
oh, me.
Yes, for about.
Sorry. You hear me now?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Then I go back to the support that you're offering. I think I talked about additional funding for those who have additional business needs. I've talked about restructuring of facilities or repayment holidays. For those who will be struggling, what you are doing as a bank is that we are matching your repayment to your current business size, the volume that you are doing, your current income. So that is what we are now calling restructure or repayment holiday, just allowing you to have a breather in the business on the business. Just before on that side, the other part that we are supporting to us relationship management is important to mention. As a bank, for all our MSME customers, you have a relationship manager, and your relationship managers are armed with all the support issues for you, the structures, anything that you may require. I would request that you engage your relationship manager. Information, and we'll be providing information through our website and our portal. We have application form for facilities there. We have a lot of information, including the training that you are going through now. I think the other key one is the webinars, and we'll continuously engage in terms of those trainings for our customers. It's also important to mention, as a responsible corporate citizen, Cooperative Bank donated 100 million to the government kitty for purchase of ventilators. So apart from now supporting our customers, we are there out supporting the government initiatives in terms of fighting this pandemic. Now, specific now to availability to the credit side of it, what do we have available for support of MSME customers? Number one, in terms of the credit, we have what we call working capital facilities. And this will help you meet the emerging issues, the emerging needs or unforeseen needs during this period. So if you have a need that is coming up, you have a business request that is coming up, you are saying we'll support you as a bank, just bring it forth, bring it to the attention of your relationship manager, your branch manager, and you are available to support you for those emerging needs. Number two is that we continue offering term loans, that loans for purchase of assets, mortgages. If you have those needs as a bank, we continuously offer those term loans. Asset financing, we continuously terms of asset financing. Indeed, we have partnership with the key motor vehicle dealers for new motor for new motor vehicle pickups, right trucks, and even the heavy commercial truck. We recently signed an agreement with the Isuzu East Africa, GM Motors, and Nissan, actually Toyota, all those new motor vehicle dealers, and even second-hand motor vehicle suppliers. We have those partnerships that will support at 95%. So as a bank, we continuously support our customers for those needs that come up in asset financing, mortgages. We also have what we call short-term credit facilities. And what we are saying, as a customer, now you can borrow from on your phone at the go, meaning that you don't have to come to the bank. As far as you're operating your account and you're able to link your account to our mobile platform, the M-Corp Cash, we are saying we can borrow through, we can help you, we can lend to you through e-credit facilities. So I think this is also very key, and especially at this time, to say, for us as a bank, we can link the buyers and the suppliers. So in case you are here, in case you are listening to us, and you have a number of suppliers, we can support you through supply chain financing. This is how it works, in that we'll discuss with you as a buyer and support both the buyer and even your suppliers. And in this case, what we want to unclog working capital. So in case you are here as a customer, you have a number of suppliers working with you, we are willing to discuss supply chain financing. It will help you unlock working capital, both on your side and the side of your supplier, and it helps give that assurance in terms of in terms of the payment at the end of the day, and even the supply of goods. So again, I would urge that you see your relationship manager, your branch managers, in terms of how then do we support you on supply chain financing. I think this is key in terms of now running the business in this environment, just as Fatma told us earlier. How then do we survive during this period? I think the last one in terms of credit solutions is, as a bank, we continue offering guarantees, bid boards, and tender boards. Several letters of credit. There are several contracts that going through, government contracts, even private contracts, and even parastatal contracts. We are saying, as a bank, we will continue guaranteeing those contracts. As a customer, walk into your bank, if you have a need to tender for some job, for a contract, walk into your bank. We are there to support you in terms of those guarantees, tender boards, and even letters of credit for those who are I heard Fatima talking about it. Have you thought of a model out there that perhaps you have never thought of? I think this is a time now also again to engage us. We'll support you, even if it's international, in terms of the business support. Number two is the payment solutions. How do we support you as a customer in terms of payment and transactions? I think this is very key in that during this period we are faced by issues of social distancing. We are faced by issues of cessation in terms of travel. And what we are saying, as a bank, we've brought the bank closer to yourself as a customer. M-Corp Cash is a powerful platform that will help you in terms of transacting. You don't need to, you don't necessarily need to visit the branch. If you are registered M-Corp Cash, you can do virtually everything, including paying your salaries. You can do everything on M-Corp Cash in terms of the transaction, so that you avoid the travel if you're under the area that has cessation, and even the visit to the bank, so that you can operate from your house. I think the second thing is the M-Collection, and this again helps you in terms of receiving funds and even paying out to your accounts. For customers, again, if you are not registered under the M-Collection, my urge is that we for registration, so that you can be able to transact. one that is also very key is, as a bank, we have revamped our option. That is the internet banking. Again, it gives you the latitude to transact, to do business through COP Online. And what you are saying under this, if you are not registered, again, you could visit your relationship manager or your branch just to register. Again, those forms are also available in the COP Bank internet and also the MSME portal. You could download those forms and ensure you register. The other thing, in terms of correction, cards will be very key. Most of our most of the customers out there are operating through cards, credit cards and debit cards, and you can use a point of sales, the POS or the PDQ, in terms of helping you. So, as a bank, you are saying we would want you to have the PDQ. If you don't have that for correction, please ensure you visit you see your manager, your relationship manager, to help you acquire one. I think the other key one is agency, what we call COP kwa jirani, agency banking. And under this, we've brought the bank closer to you. So a COP kwa jirani agent can do virtually everything in the branch. That includes payment, includes correction, all those transactions that you can do in a cooperative bank branch. You basically do them in a COP kwa jirani shop. There's the bank near you. And this now again comes in to say we have limited movements. And for you now as a customer, we would request that you take advantage of the COP kwa jirani agents near you in your estates, near your businesses, to help you in terms of banking and transactions. I think I would also want to mention the Lipa na M-Pesa termination. You have an arrangement with Safaricom that money can be terminated directly into your account to help build on your transactions. So don't hold that money on the phone. Terminate it into your core bank account just to help you in terms of building your account transactions and everything else. Next slide, Haggai. So the next slide is on the solutions that we are offering to customers who are listening to us, who have running facilities. And I would just re-emphasize on those customers who have running MSME facilities. Number one is what I talked of earlier, the relationship management. And for this one, is very key to say, would request that you have that regular engagement with your banker, with your relationship manager, and even the branch manager, just to find out about the status, the insights, and the support that we require. So our bankers, our relationship managers, and even our branch managers will be calling on you regularly just to find out about your status. They would want to have insights in terms of how the business is doing and any other support that is required. So for our customers, again, my request is that please feel free to talk to those people. They are the only people who would help us pick the support and any support that any insights that perhaps you need to pick as a bank. I think the second thing is what I covered earlier, to say, as a bank, as a bank that we are supporting you through what we are calling the structure. The structure is basically saying we would want to match your own repayment to your, in terms of the business, the current income that you are getting. Perhaps you are making a repayment of 40,000, just as an example, just before COVID. And today you are saying, my business can only manage 20,000. I think as a bank, you are saying, we are also willing to take that 20,000 as you wait for the 40,000 when things normalize. Again, there is what you are calling the payment holiday. You are saying, I'm completely out of business, but I foresee myself coming back in the next 3 months. I think for that, again, what you are saying, we can allow you to come back. We can give you that holiday for the next 3 months just to we can allow you to ensure that you run through that business. The other one is what I talked about, reduced to match the current business reality. I think key is to mention the third one, which is additional funding. And this comes in your business needs. Funding, we are saying, as a business person, you may be having a line that you have identified and require some additional funding. Out of the COVID, I think there are people who have gotten advantages in terms of increased business volumes. What are we saying? We can still support you in terms of ensuring that you meet your business needs right now. If you have a need for an asset, as I said, if you have a need for working capital, as a bank, we support you in terms of any additional funding despite the situation we are in, and you are committed to doing that from our end. I think the other thing is key is in terms of business advisory, just like what you are running now, our webinar. As a bank, you are committed to walk the journey together with our customers through those discussions, and I think most of them will be through the MSME portal, the website. We have lined up a number of webinars that I talked of, and even a number of engagements through the social media. Maybe you could go to the next slide, Agai. I think the next slide is talking about the offering. What are we offering as a bank? What do we have as an offer for the core bank MSME customer? I know I've talked about a number of them, but just to re-emphasize is that for you as a customer, basically an MSME customer would have three needs from the institution, and the first one is the transaction. And for the transaction, if you are saying you are in business, you are in business, appraise to buy and withdraw your funds. We have what we call an MSME package account, and this comes in three. We have a gold, silver, and a bronze. I wouldn't want to go into details about it so much because of time, but my request is that as we engage, it's important to visit your branches, just get to know what the package comprises of, and what then do you require in terms of opening that package. So these are all current accounts that will help you in terms of transacting as a customer. The second need that comes through from you as a customer after you have sold, you are then do I pay out? And for this, I think I'd covered the payment solutions. The M-Corp Cash will help you in terms of receiving and paying out. The M-Collection, the Corp Online, the Corp Kwa Jirani agents that will help you in terms of collecting through at the proximity of your business or even your houses, the match and deeper better termination. So those are the basic payment and collection solutions that again we continue offering to you as our customers. And Rastre is the lending solutions, which I think Fatma talked of. And for this, as a bank, we are saying we have a number of facilities. Some of them will be unsecured term loans. Some of them will be unsecured overdraft. We have secured term loans and even overdrafts. We have mobile business loans, just as I discussed of. We have asset finance and mortgages. But just to say that all these facilities are available even as we speak now, despite us being all these we have asset finance. I request that you visit your branch, be it an asset, be it a shop situation, be it a secured or unsecured facility. Just visit your branch to ensure that you walk the journey together. So don't shy away saying we are facing the COVID situation. Just visit your branch to ensure that you can borrow now as a core bank customer. Next slide, Hagai. I think these slides depict a happy customer, and it's a commitment to us as a corporate, as a bank, is that we would want to take your business to the next level. So that aside, that we would want to see you come out strong, like that gentleman holding their phone there. We would see you come out through the M-Corp Cash and perhaps talking to their suppliers or to their business partners. With that posture, they are very happy. Actually, I think that's what we desire to see from our MSME customers after this COVID. Now, my presentation is what is my call to action from Cooperative Bank, and more so to my customers that are assigned here, my customers that maybe are also listening through YouTube and all the channels. My call to action is to say, number one, request that you engage your relationship or the branch manager for more information in terms of the discussions that you have had, and more so it's that and how then do we face all those needs that you are facing now. The second thing, which is very important, is I would request that you keep your relationship manager and your branch manager updated on those issues that are emerging in your business. You may be experiencing some challenges, you may be experiencing your business may be thriving. I think share those, keep the branch manager updated so that they can be able to know how to support you. In case you are going through a tender, as I said, your branch manager needs to know that perhaps you need a tender, you need something, you need a tender board. All those things, keep the branch manager and the relationship manager updated in terms of what the business is going through. The third thing, which I think is also very for us now, is that I would request you present your repayment arrangements to your relationship manager. So we are saying your business has been doing well. We are now struggling. It's understood by all of us. The situation that we are in now is we've never gone through such a situation as a country, and you are willing to face to look at any arrangements that you present to your relationship manager or your branch manager. Please feel free to present those arrangements to to the team down in the branches. The fourth thing is that, which is also key, during this environment, we are saying that we would want you to leverage on our payment solutions and transaction solutions to continuously bank and make your payment arrangements. Banking hours, close at 4. Some centers used to close even at 6, even some at 7. But our channels are still available in terms of transacting. Saturdays, I think, used to have some extended hours. We are saying our channels are still available. Despite us physically closing the branches, we are saying for you customers, leverage on the payment and the presented and POPCA, the internet banking, all those payment solutions, leverage on them in terms of making those payments or even transacting. I think the last one is to say that raise any additional funding needs with your relationship manager or the branch manager. And lastly, as a bank, we are requesting you to keep safe. I think at this juncture, I would want to take a few questions that I saw coming through Haggai.
Moses, so let me start with the YouTube questions, then Sarah will pick a few of the WebEx questions. So the first question was around the network stability, and I would imagine this is one of your agent clients. So he's saying the network stability could be better because a lot of times he's not able to complete transactions. I think the last question that I can see coming through YouTube is around where a client would want to diversify into a new business. And they're asking, would you assess that business as a new venture or a startup, or you would assess that business as a part of an existing or the part of the current business?
Let me take those ones as Sarah comes up. Thank you, Haggai. Very good feedback from Magunga. I think I noted the Magunga General Stores. I don't know they are calling from where. They are the ones who asked about raise the feedback in terms of network challenge. Magunga, thank you for that feedback. We take it kindly, and I think we should be able to address the issues of network. I believe that was network on through the channels that I'm advocating for, the MCOP Cash and the internet banking. But maybe I'll take it off this just to find out where it is. But the feedback is taken in terms of the network challenges. I think the other one of the new venture came through Jane Wanjiko. I think Jane Wanjiko has a school, if I'm not wrong, because I saw her saying online banking, online running. Saying she's running a school payment, or even does she start another business? And I think that is what you are calling now diversification into new businesses. In terms of appraisal, Jane, I can assure you we'll look at the business, also factoring the new business that you'd want to go into. But your existing business will play a big role in terms of now determining the availability of the credit facility that the credit facilities that you'll be looking at. So what am I saying, Jane? We are willing to look at your proposal in terms of the startup, considering that you also have that experience as a business person. You have been running a school or any other business. If you come up with a new business model now, as a bank, will be willing to look at your proposal. So, Sarah.
Moses, there's just one question, and it seems to be a burning question, which is from the same Jane. She was asking, now that schools have closed down, we have tried online learning, but parents are not willing to pay anything. So how do we go about this? And do I need to start another business? And in addition to that, she says, thank you very much, Fatma, for your great presentation. I am not hearing anything in line with businesses that are service-oriented, e.g. schools that are running privately. We cannot diversify to another business just like that because the curriculum is managed by the government. How can Coop Bank, I think Moses has answered from the Coop Bank side, but maybe what I can say in addition to what has already been said and some encouragement to Jane or a kick or spur to think outside of the box, even if you're thinking about, a new business, as Moses says, the bank will definitely look at your existing business.
Yes.
So, when you think about any other kind of business that you'd be considering as far as diversification is concerned, Jane, you need. Can you hear me, Fatma, Haggai? All right. So you need to think about your passion and your proficiency. So if I'm hearing you well, you're saying, look, my passion and my proficiency is around schools. It's very interesting, all these discussions we are having. And one of the things that I'm observing and we are all seeing is that you can actually create fortunes out of a misfortune. But what this session today was all about is pivoting your business, considering a new business model. Even as you think about diversification, it could be diversifying out of your regular, offerings. Because I know you're school is closed, I can't reach my parents. And you're saying that you've tried, but the parent. Jane, I want to give you some ideas, or I want to remind you that education is a service. And one of the things we have seen is that service must go outside of the four corners of the school. If you've listened carefully to what Fatma has been saying, and also Moses, we're all talking about getting out of, business as usual, what we were used to. So Jane, when you think about tuition, I know you have tried with your parents and you're not seeming to make headway. Think outside of the box. I think I have heard somebody talking about networks, and what COVID is teaching us is the importance of warming those networks. I have seen teachers from private schools, because your proficiency is in teaching, mobilizing groups of students from other schools, maybe where they were offering online solutions and they were too expensive and the parents were not able to afford, maybe what their schools are asking for. I've seen them coming, reaching the customers and I mean the students and the teachers, and offering solutions to them at an affordable price. And that way they're able to put money into their pockets. So Jane, think schooling beyond the borders of your school. And there is opportunity. I have seen in the schooling business, private schooling, people are making fortunes out of this through tuition. Another area is counseling, because you're in education, you're in the knowledge industry. Why don't you think of providing, offerings? Say, for example, in counseling, how can students cope with COVID? Another one, how could teachers cope with COVID? Another one, how could school owners cope with COVID? Why don't you think about some kind of mentoring for teenagers, something on stress management? Why don't you do some offering, maybe get into the online platforms and maybe create blogs, talk about, your experiences and how, you can cope and so on. So some of those services you provide for free. Some of those services you need to charge. But the bottom line, and Jane, I really want to encourage you, it's not over until it's over. And I want you to think outside of the box of your school as you know it. There is a lot of opportunity, and there's now schooling beyond borders, and you need to get into that space and also make some money out of it. Thank you, Fatma. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yes, thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Moses. That was very, very comprehensive. Additionally to what has been said, you may also want to look at where is your school situated. Have you noticed that nowadays when you drive, you always see vehicles all over the place parked and people selling? Now, if your school had space, you may create it into a market where people can just walk in, pay a little bit of money, and then, because we are allowed, when you have space and people can park and clients would know, I can go to this place, it's clean, I can be sanitized, and yeah, I'm able to go and shop. So basically, it's about you thinking differently, you create a platform for other people to come operate their businesses from. And of course, it may not be a lot of money because what we are saying, we must look at the inflows, no matter how small those inflows are. Sarah had spoken about the coaching and the training because students may not be able to take a lot of information overload when schools reopen. So you could be training them now. So if your school had maybe buses or minibus or a van, you could also be participating with the online deliveries. Vehicle, that is what that vehicle can do. Don't keep these assets at home. Put these assets to use, whether it is land, it is vehicles, whether it is knowledge. One of them or all of them should be able to work for you. Remember, we spoke about narrowing your strengths. All these are strengths that you have. You need to match the strength with the opportunity that is presented now. Thank you. I hope we answered your question.
Maybe Fatma, just one last thing for Jane. Just to give you another idea, one of the things that I have seen, educationists are doing at this time is to concentrate more on the academics, the subjects, the biology, physics, and the rest of them. So as you package your offering, just something that I've been thinking about, perhaps maybe create 1 or 2 sessions. We're seeing that COVID is affecting parents, and it is affecting us. It's affecting us as families. Maybe you can package something to do with how are the stressful influences of COVID affecting students? Because I don't think many people are talking to them. So that could be another value addition that you can provide even as you think about education. Thank you.
There's another question. Sarah, did you pick it about someone who had a bookshop? Is not able to sell, it had to close.
Okay, yes, I've seen that one. This is from Sharpener Academy in Meru. I had a bookshop, but due to COVID, my sales were going down. Please advise me. What's interesting about a bookshop is that business as usual, as we were used to yesterday, that is before COVID, as Fatma says, we were used to opening the doors of the bookshop, physical doors, and customers come in to order one thing or another. Now the question is, and I agree with you that yes, sales have gone down. So what we are saying is, how can you change? Unaweka ile egemeo, that pivot, you slightly change. Unajua kama meza inayomba, you have to strengthen it. So what are some of the things that you can do? And one of the things you can do, Sharpener Academy, Meru, is that you can go online, look for ways and means of now marketing those products, because students still need books, they still need to read and so on. If anything, I was looking at a research that was saying that now people are reading more than ever. And so what you need to do then is to make it easy for them to access those books. I would encourage you, go online, and I think this is one of the exciting webinars that we have lined up for you about digital marketing and digital, how to operate in that space. So that's one idea that I would give to you. Another one, diversify your offerings. So I'm not sure exactly what sort of things you sell at the bookshop, maybe books, maybe, try to diversify your offerings to meet the customer's need right now. Thank you.
Sarah,
Thank you, Sarah.
I don't know what you're saying. The two things that people have right now is people have time, lots of time. Now, you could also consider starting a book club. Okay, what are the interesting books that are out there that will teach us this, that will train us that, and create a club, an online club where people can be discussing a book. I know I'm in a WhatsApp where we discuss some interesting movies. When I say movies, not zile za kupigana, but movies that have maybe a historical angle to it or a social angle to it. So it could be a book club whereby you are helping, look at it this way, you are helping people create a reading culture, enhancing a reading culture, but at the same time, you are also increasing your sales.
Sarah and Fatima also.
Yes, please.
If you could allow, let me also restate the support the bank is offering, especially to the education sector, the schools, and the supply chains that are within the academic area. Number one is maybe what I said earlier. If you have a facility, and we're now speaking to those who are in schools, if you have facility, the structure is also available to you. Until that time, you'll be able to make some income in terms of the fees. The second thing is to say that we, as a bank, and I know most of educational institutions would want to support to retain their talent. Maybe this is a time you are lacking some payments some money in terms of payment of salaries. We have a solution that can help you sustain your people through some short-term facilities up to the time now that the schools come back. And this, I think, as a bank, we do offer it timely. So for example, now you come around just towards the end of the term, and you are able to sustain your staff for that period. And as a bank, that facility is available. So for my customers who are running educational facilities, I know you are facing a lot of challenges, and even those people within the value chain of the supply, the support, as a bank, case by case, just come in, bring in your request through your relationship manager, through the branch manager, and as I proposal, and that I think relationship manager understanding your current needs, and will be willing to support based on what you are looking for. Some of you are looking at just through payments, something that request and will be support now as a way to correct for online payments. How do I I think as an institution you are willing to support on all those customers. I saw a question coming through a gentleman, not really a question, but a comment through a gentleman called Wanjara Wekesa Achenga, sorry. And he's talking of saying he's a supplier to schools, and he has all his stores are filled up with stock. And I think for saying he may not start a new model, but he's waiting for the cycle to come back. We'll support you, Wanjara, in terms of saying what else in terms of the stock, what else can be moving as wait for the school, and we can bring the repayment facility to reality to the current reality in terms of your business volumes. I've seen a question on what a tender board is, and a tender or a bid board. I think what you are saying, a bid board is that document that enables you to go for a contract. When you are bidding for a contract, you have to are moving as well for that question or whatever. That be in terms of acquiring that, in terms of that, getting that application through is what we call a bid board. And I think a further question to that, Anthony Kuria, you're asking, how long would a bid board take? Let me state that bid boards are issued same day. And at the branch level, you can get a bid board of up to 5 million unsecured. That is through any of our branches. You visit our branches and say, I want to tender for these works, maybe through government or through a private entity or whatever you want to tender through. We are saying as a bank, through our branches, you can get up to 5 million unsecured and same day. Any other question coming through, Hagai?
I have seen one about the travel industry. Hagai. So let me take the travel industry as Hagai prepares to give us questions from YouTube. There's a gentleman, Vincent, saying that I'm in the travel industry. My organization has since March come to a stop. The airspace is closed. What can you advise? The first thing I'd like to say, Bwana Kimani, is that pole sana. COVID has affected each one of us differently, some more than others. And I know the service industry. I am from the airline industry myself, so yes, I hear you and I understand. Now, this is the time we are talking about changing. You see, when you are forced with a problem, you cannot solve the problem the same way that you solved it differently. I mean, a couple of years ago. What is it that you have? If you are in the travel industry and you are in the tours, did you have vehicles that you put to work? A lot of the tour operators that I know at the moment, what they are doing is they are rescheduling the programs that they had. But what they are also doing, and this is what you may want to look at, what do you have with you that you can put to work? What do I mean by that? Do you have vehicles that can be put to work? Do you have any other skill that you can use? We are not saying you totally abandon your current business, lakini upoeshe kazi kidogo, uangalie what else can you do at this point in time. It could be even an online platform whereby you can create events online. What do I mean by events? Because remember, everybody is at home and people are looking for things to do. Just like the lady, we were talking about a blog. You can create a virtual tour and you can talk to people and you can tell people what is so special about maybe Kenya. People just come and see. Not all of them read. For example, how many heritage sites do we have now?
Hi, Fatma. I think we lost Fatma. Moses, maybe as we wait for Fatma to come back, I think one common theme coming across YouTube is about, SME clients about diversification. They're really interested to know whether you will, they diversified or the new business line on a standalone or as a part of the existing business.
Yes.
I think the other questions I've pasted. I've pasted the rest of the questions onto WebEx, and they've been addressed.
We have addressed the ones on WebEx. Thank you. Of diversification, I think let me just re-emphasize that as a bank, we are willing to look at them, and I think the customer business acumen will be key to say, I've been in this and by diversifying. I think we will appraise the existing business, of course, also considering the new line that they are going into. So we'll be able, we as a bank, we are saying we are committed to looking at those requests for diversification in terms of the business lines. And support, I think I mentioned that we'll support those emerging needs. Hagai?
Thanks, Moses. Moses, yes. One last question that is coming through, and this is it. It's more of a suggestion than a question. They're suggesting that why can't CoBank, offer maybe branded face masks, branded hand gloves for the saloonists who are your clients, branded protective gear at your clients, and they're saying that would act as a means of advertising the bank.
Excellent suggestion. And I know I have my partner in marketing and relations, public relations on this call, Nancy Kipchirat, but it's an excellent feedback. We take it, and I think we'll digest and maybe give feedback in the next session. But I don't know whether Nancy, you've had the question, the suggestion, sorry, you've picked. Nancy, are you there?
Yes, Moses, I'm here.
From a customer.
Unmute.
Nancy, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
It's a good suggestion. Though we are hesitant because of the associations with a mask currently, because I think so many people, when they see the mask, they think of COVID. But of course, once the acceptance is there, then now we can be able to consider. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
What other
Yes, so
questions
I
do we
think
have, Haggai, on YouTube?
on YouTube we've pretty much
That's
addressed all the questions
but I know
or suggestions.
Okay. So for me, as a final, to be honest, hello. Hello. Okay.
Please go ahead, Fatma.
Okay. No, what I wanted to say is that this brings us now to the end of our session together. I would like to thank the participants for giving
Fatma,
us. Yes,
Fatma,
please.
I'm so sorry. We have with us Director William Dumia. I don't know whether you would want to
great.
say a few words to the our clients.
That's around William.
Yes.
We also have Vivian Awar with us.
Dumia, karibu.
Thank you very much, Fatma, Moses, Haggai, all our clients, customers, and my colleagues who are also on the call. I'm very excited that we continue to have this partnership with IFC, so that they continue to help us in engaging our customers on both local and global perspectives of the realities that have now become a new normal for all of us. And I'm delighted that our customers were able to join in this very important webinar. And we'll continue having more of these, as Moses has shared, so that we fertilize our thoughts, we challenge ourselves, we hear of other possibilities that are out there that we are able to leverage on during this critical point in this era of COVID. These are unusual times. There are times for us to reflect in our businesses, in our personal lives, in our spiritual lives. And I believe it is a time for all of us to keep checking on the new normal and how to adapt to the new normal. I want to encourage all our customers that we are here for you. I think Moses Gitao has really come out clearly on the things that we are doing together to support you in the continuation of your business, to sustain the businesses that you're currently running, and also to give you support where you require to diversify, where you require to pivot. I like what Fatma said, on the basis of the businesses that you're running and any new ideas that you'll be having. I think we are with you even during this period. We are happy to say that we have continued to restructure. Quite a number of restructures have come through. Holidays for those who have had serious distress. And we want to encourage all those who have any issue that they want support on to reach out to the branch managers, the relationship managers for that additional information that they may require. Continue adapting to the digital ways of payments. And Moses has really brought out the new digital solutions that we have packaged for you to be able to ensure that you are complying even with what the government is encouraging. We've just launched our new COP online. Those who have not been able to access it, I think it's now available. Please reach out to it. We have the M collections, we have the agency, we have the merchant USS, and the till solutions that will enable your customers to be cashless as much as possible. So reach out and we'll be able to support you even to where the businesses are running at a lower scale. My other comment is to say that I think the new frontiers that are there, and as the presenters were sharing, are very innovate, you require a lot of innovation. They require a lot of extensions on the things that we've been doing. What can schools do more of when they don't have students? What can hotels do more of when they don't have clients? I saw a hotel that was talking about, I think it was in Mombasa or in the coastal region, that you can have your full board meals, but free accommodation, probably just to ensure that the business is sustained and the employees continue getting at least a salary and keeping the place active. And I've had some very nice thoughts from on schools. What can we do more on schools? We've seen a lot of other people even being on the streets, selling vegetables and groceries, just extending, pivoting on what they have to be able to sustain their businesses during this period. So I think it calls out for us to really think and extend some of the things that we can do differently. Let's continue also helping each other in terms of partnerships. We've seen, and I think it was given an example where a supermarket has gone online. It has partnered with delivery companies. Hotels are also doing that. I think this is a period where partnership now becomes real. Going online and doing all those things online and supporting the online sales. We as Cooperative Bank who have come up with APIs that are able even to integrate with your systems, those who have systems, to enable you to get those payments online directly. So reach out and we'll be able to support you in that aspect. I think because of time, I will say that I'm very excited for the partnerships that we continue having. You can dictate the kind of topics that you'd want discussed, and we'll be able to get the right experts to be able to come and share with us. Feel free to share openly on the realities that you are facing on a day-to-day basis, so that we as bankers, we are able also to use that experience and the information that you have given us to be able to package solutions that fit the realities that you are facing today. So we'll be happy to hear more. Keep sharing as much as possible with us and keeping in touch with your relationship branch managers to share the issues that they happen. Thank you very much for all the teams that have been able to join us today. And let's continue navigating the new normal as we learn, and we pray and hope that things will get better in the coming days. God bless you, and let's continue with the webinars and the other physical meetings that we have and the calls, and reaching out to each other for any information that is required to make things better for all of us. Thank you, Haggai. Unless there is any specific. Asante.
Asante sana Bwana Ndumia. That was very, very good, and it really added value to what needs to be done at this point in time. I would like now to invite Vivian. Vivian, are you there with us so that you can share a word or two before we can call the session to a close? Vivian, over to you. Hello?
I think Vivian's mic is mute. Just as a way of introduction, so Vivian is IFC MSME program lead for Sub-Saharan Africa. I think mic is muted. Maybe in the next webinar, she'll get a chance to say something. Over to you, Fatma.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We would have loved to have heard from Vivian, but there's always tomorrow. So what I'd like to say, I'd like to echo what Bwana Ndumia and Bwana Moses Gitau said, to thank you, the client, to thank you, the co-op customer, for being with us, for walking on this journey with us, for listening to us. We do pray that we were able to add value to you and to your business. The one parting shot that I would like to add is, this is a time that we need to think differently. Look at what you have and look at how what you have can help you to move forward. We do not want to just survive, but we actually want to thrive. I would also like to thank my co-producer Haggai and my co-facilitator Sarah for walking this journey with me. And with that, nataka kusema kwaheri. Kwaheri na asanteni sana. Over to you, Haggai.
Fatma, many thanks. And I don't know whether Moses, you do about the survey to help us improve quality or tweak wherever there is in the next webinar. Moses, over to you before we close.
Thank you, Hagai. To my valued customers, we'll be sending out the present, just sharing with you in terms of what we have discussed today. And further to that, we'll be sending a questionnaire, a survey questionnaire that perhaps will help us in topics that perhaps we can bring up in the next webinars. So through the emails, the email addresses, we'll be receiving the questionnaire that will help us in terms of improving whatever we can improve on, whatever topics that you feel we can share. But as I said earlier, I think it will be important that you continue engaging your relationship manager and even your branch managers for us to appreciate what you are doing and maybe the support that will be coming through. So I think that's what Pretty I wanted to say, Hagai. I request as our customers sign out, maybe the COP and the IFC team could remain behind a bit.
Many thanks, Peter. Many thanks, Peter. And we've shared this. If some of us wish to complete the survey as soon as possible. So thanks, Peter. We can wait.
So our customers are free to leave as we want to engage the COP and the IFC team. Thank you for showing up, customers. I believe it has been beneficial to you.
I think, Peter, I think Moses, as customers are leaving, maybe just some encouraging comments out of YouTube. They're really thanking the bank and IFC for organizing these, for the encouraging words and for the insights. Quite a number of them seem to have picked some very useful and insightful tips as to how to reorganize their businesses during the crisis. They're very, very, very grateful.
Hi, Moses. This is Vivian here. Why don't we send another link for the COP and IFC team? It's very hard knowing who is on or not.
Yes. Let me end this and let me end the meeting because the meeting was being recorded.
Okay.
So that I send a fresh invite to IFC and COP.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.